Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Heard of Q Broadcast? It's taking the world by storm. People are cutting the cord to their high cable bills and moving away from streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and others for something better. Q Broadcast. For just $60 a month, you'll get access to every channel you could ever want, including HBO, Cinemax, and Starz. And the best part? There are no contracts, no hidden fees, and you're free to cancel anytime. With Q Broadcast, you can enjoy streaming live TV, movies, and top series on up to 5 devices at once. Whether you're at home or on the go, Q Broadcast makes sure your entertainment is always at your fingertips. Imagine being able to watch all your favorite channels from anywhere, anytime, without any restrictions. We're talking about thousands of movies, hundreds of TV series, and a huge library of live channels, all in one place. And don't forget video on demand and pay-per-view events. Those are included at no extra cost, so you'll never miss a big event again. Now, take a second and think about your current cable bill. You're probably paying anywhere between $100 and $300 every month, locked into long-term contracts and hit with surprise rate increases. With Q Broadcast, that's a thing of the past. It's just $60 a month. No contracts, no extra fees, no hidden costs, and no price hikes. Why juggle multiple subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, and cable when Q Broadcast gives you everything you need in one convenient package? People everywhere are switching to Q Broadcast, saving money and getting more content than ever before. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description and sign up for Q Broadcast today. Just $60 a month, no contracts, no hidden fees. It's time to take control of your entertainment and start streaming smarter.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome, everybody. It is Monday. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. It's a beautiful day here in northern Colorado. The sky's blue right now. It's been very overcast here lately, so I'm feeling a lot of gratitude for the blue sky, as I'm sure if you're experiencing that as well. Sometimes some days we're just like, oh, they didn't spray us today. Hallelujah. They didn't. It's just such a weird world we're living in that we have to be grateful for clear skies. But that is the world we're living in. Let me tell you. So I planned a great show for you today. And I thought I had everything in order. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to do the show today because I've got so much to talk about. I'm going to talk a little bit about Chris Christie and his... I've got some... probably not so nice things to say about that guy, but we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about Joe Ladapo. We're going to talk about the MTHFR mutation and how that plays into upcoming announcements about autism, I believe are, coming fast. And then I want to cover the Fabian Society as well. And then, of course, we're going to have a health topic today. That's going to be fantastic. We're going to talk about supporting your nervous system. And I know I talk about this a lot, but I think it's really important because you cannot heal when your nervous system is in fight or flight. So we're going to cover that again, a little bit of repetition. And then, of course, we'll have a naturally inspired moment. But then, I spent all morning with you guys. I had appointments all morning, which was fantastic. I love meeting with you. I love hearing your stories. Most of all, I love connecting you to real solutions for health because it's like a breath of fresh air. I know so many, I feel your relief when we talk and when, we start exchanging some of the information and I can point you to different studies and different things that are going on. I feel your sense of relief and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because just being able to give you that sense of relief is everything, right? And I know that once you understand how your body works, you're never going back to that other model. because it let you down. But anyway, I digress. So, spend my morning doing that. Well, just before I come on here, thank gosh, I checked the news, and Trump posted this on Truth Social. This is a meme around it. So he did just post the video, but take a look at this.
Show them the thimerosal ball, which we keep in a metal container because we're a little afraid of it, and it's a very fine powder.
This is thimerosal, which is labeled very toxic, has cumulative effects, can cause damage to the kidneys, to the respiratory system, skin, to the nervous system. Specifically warns on here that it can cause reproductive and developmental toxicity, meaning that it can cause things like autism and other neurodevelopmental disorders. This is immensely toxic stuff.
And it's in vaccine.
And this is what's in the vaccine. It's important to realize we're talking about a whole range of products. Vaccines are a big one because, of course, you're directly injecting it. For example, this is tetanus vaccine. This one expires, it's a little outdated now, in 2007. Here's the thimerosal. 1 to 10,000 is a preservative. Perhaps the biggest one in the U.S., at least, that's for exposure to mercury is the influenza vaccine. Influenza vaccine is now recommended for all pregnant women, all infants, all children on a yearly basis. You're supposed
You
to
have last year's influenza? Understand that thimerosal is not added at the end. It's not like, well, that factory next year can make thimerosal free. Thimerosal, you either have to have a thimerosal free factory or you have to not have one. They add thimerosal at each step because the factory is not clean and not sterile. So you either have to have an
Looks like we're having trouble with internet issues. I don't know if we're live or if we have gone down. Hopefully. I'm just waiting for a message from I'm live. Great. Thank you, Jason. So hopefully you got the gist of that clip. This is obviously, I played that clip on Naturally Inspired years ago. That comes from a documentary I think Jason and I watched. I don't know. Long time ago. So this moment that we are just entering into, like we're almost there. Like we're so close to getting the truth around vaccines. It's both like I'm excited and I'm also nervous because I'm like, are we going to get this close? And something's going to come in because, we've been let down before. And something's going to come in and shift what's going on here. Because this to me from Trump is a signal. This is a signal. And I tell you all the time, like negotiations are taking place and our country's a corporation and it's run like a business. And when you understand that, when you're at the negotiation table, you know that almost anything can happen. And so I feel nervous and I feel excited. But even this, like, let me tell you, when you are a parent of a child who was injured by a vaccine, and every time you tell somebody that, when you're naive enough to still tell somebody that, like me, I was so naive. I thought other parents, other mothers would want to know that that's what happened to my kid. But turns out they didn't want to know that. In fact, when you told them, yeah, I don't vaccinate anymore because this is what happened to Mateo. They're like, well, are you sure that happened to him? How do you know it was that? I've been here. My son's 22 now. That happened when he was 2. So I got used to just like, I don't even care. I'm not going to talk about that because I don't want the smoke. I don't want the pushback. I don't want, and then of course, that's how I got kind of really deep into more natural health and understanding what real health was. By the way, real health's not injected, right? And so that's why I went on that journey. It was out of necessity because I knew we couldn't trust that model anymore. I knew those doctors actually didn't know more than my own husband knew. Because my husband actually knew what was wrong with my kid before the doctors did. And so I left that model. And for years, I avoid this conversation. For years, I avoided it. And for good reason, because when COVID came up, I couldn't avoid it anymore. Even though when I started my first podcast back in 2019, before COVID, I even said to Jason, I'm not going to talk about vaccines because you know what that's like. Like, I'm just going to talk about natural solutions. I'm going to talk about, getting off pharma, like just really like, I'm just going to keep it, peaceful. Little did I know COVID would happen in 2020 and it would become all about vaccines, right? Because I couldn't avoid it. So of course, given my experience, I can't sit there and say nothing. I can't. I know what I know. And so we had a very serious conversation at one point. It was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to talk about them? Are you going to talk about the truth? Or are you going to are you going to try to play their game and not say the V word and not say the ivermectin word and not say this and not say that and say unalive and all these words that I'm not allowed to say? And Jason was like, well, I know you're probably not going to do that because I've been married to you a long time. And of course he was right. I couldn't. I just let it all fly. So I got kicked off of Facebook. I got kicked off of YouTube. I got kicked off of everything. I went to terrestrial radio. And at terrestrial radio, I said whatever I wanted. And so that's where I kind of stand today, is still with radio. And now the President of the United States is playing the very same clips that I played for you years ago. Maybe now you can understand how I'm nervous and excited at the same time. This has been a long road for us. Like I said, Mateo's 22. Stay tuned. I've got so much more to share with you today. You're not going to want to miss it. This is Naturally Inspired Radio, and I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturalinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad you're here. What a day, let me tell you. It's interesting because I was thinking about what Trump had said recently because, you know, I covered Joe Ladapo last week down in Florida when he was talking, and I'm a big fan of Ladapo. He just seems so authentic to me and real. And, you know, he just spoke from the heart. I thought it was funny because he was kind of like hitting his mic. And, you know, I like that stuff because that to me, you're not rehearsed, you know, you're not rehearsed. And you are just a normal human being that is like, hey, he was like hitting his mic and hitting the podium and just saying like, you can't mandate. Who am I to mandate this stuff on people? I'm not God. I can't tell you what to put in your body, what to put in your kid's body. And I just really resonate with him. Anyway, I was talking about him last week. Trump then came out and said, well, you know, I don't know about that. Like polio, I think polio is a fantastic, you know, vaccine and blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I feel like that's his age. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you grew up around his age group, they fed you that polio stuff, like, you know, and you lived it, right? So I get why he's defensive of the polio vaccine and stuff. But I'm like, you know, who knows? Maybe Trump watches Naturally Inspired because that's the clip I played. You know, who knows? You never know, right? I've had Don Jr. comment on a couple of my Instagram posts. You never know. But I would say look at Dr. Bashar's work around polio. And look at the theory of DDT. And I think, you know, obviously Bobby Kennedy, I just hope Bobby says, look at this, you know? Because I think Trump just doesn't know what he doesn't know yet. And obviously I'm not, you know, I don't know. It could be part of a negotiations thing too. Just when I think Trump is like not going to do what I think he's going to do, he turns around and does it, you know? So who knows? I'm not one that gets into predicting. If somebody's predicting constantly, you know, it's like, how do you know that? I don't have any inside intel or anything like that, but I can see the patterns here. And I've known this whole time that this is negotiations. If anything, you know, about Trump, you know, he's a master negotiator. And so I have to believe that negotiations are at play here. So I don't know what's going to happen. But that's the clip I was going to play today about him saying that about polio. And then we see this Truth Social post. So just a really interesting time. And I believe that when Trump posts on social, yeah, he's using it to communicate to the citizenry, but he's also using it to communicate to his adversaries. And so I don't know what's going down at the negotiation tables right now, but I would think something is, because that's a signal. That's definitely a signal to Big Pharma and to what is coming. And of course, Bobby has been telling us we're going to get a big announcement this month in September. all the signs are pointing towards autism, of course, and because that's what he said, but also the other component of just vaccination in general when it comes to things like ADD and neurodevelopment issues. So there's lots of stuff brewing. I still don't know if we're going to get like a point blank admission that vaccines cause this. I would love that. And I hope that happens. But I don't know. And I think we also have to keep in mind, too, the biotechnology revolution is still at play here. That the negotiations, and we're seeing meetings with Bill Gates, and we're seeing some embracement of AI and technology and stuff like that. So, like, is it going to be exactly what we want? What I want? Probably not. Can guarantee it won't be. But this is, like I said, negotiations. We are a corporation, and at the helm of this, you have Trump, who is all business. And I think he's going to try to cut a deal where the pharmaceutical companies don't really lose any of their weight in the marketplace or the economy, because they're a huge part of our economy, obviously, because, I mean, they're just infiltrated in everything. It's going to have to be a slow progression out of that and into, more sustainable, reliable, real health solutions. But it is not going to be able to happen overnight. And you got people dependent on pharma too, that they can't go without it. At this point, there may be too much damage. I don't know. I don't ever like to give up on people because I think there's always a path back to health. But there are some people that just like aren't willing to do the work to get back into, on the path of optimum health. So lots of variables there. Very exciting, kind of overwhelming, because like I said, we've been working towards this kind of like everybody's going to know. It's just like, I never thought this day would come, but here we are. So it's super exciting. I want to point this out as well. We have to get back to a results-based society. There's nothing, what are like, when our belief systems are just kind of like measured off of some strange standard that isn't like rooted in reality, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I know lots of people say this and point this out. They're like, oh, our health advisor or our health minister, or whatever, whoever, the head of the health department. These are the most unhealthy looking people, right? And they're supposed to be in charge of advising us on health. And so, like, what happened where we got so diverted from merit-based society? Because we need to course correct on that. I want to share this video with you. This is Chris Christie. I might get a little mean here. Bear with me, but watch this first.
You looked at that appearance before Congress, and it just confirms what all of us around this table have known for decades. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a foolish man, full of foolish and vapid ideas. And that was on display again this week in front of Congress. And I really don't want to hear about Bill Cassidy, because he is a co-conspirator with the President of the United States for putting this wholly unqualified man in charge of 25% of all government spending. Without Cassidy's vote, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would not be it. And maybe he's feeling some guilt from what he did. But I'll tell you this, the President did this. He knows, the President's smart enough to know RFK Jr. doesn't belong in that job. But after he won, he wanted to show everybody, I can do whatever I want to do because this Senate will be compliant no matter what I do. And I'll put the greatest vaccine and public health denier of the last 20 years in charge of public health in America. It's a human middle finger, George, to everybody who opposed him.
Did seem caught up on the one hand. He wants to brag.
What are we talking about here, Chris? What are we talking about? This man is morbidly obese. Okay. And I don't like to go over, I don't like to attack people based on their appearance. But if you're going to get into the forum of health, if you're going to start dictating what's healthy, what curates health, then you're going to need to have some results. Okay? Chris Christie is a big fat man, and he is full of big false ideas. And he is criticizing Bobby Kennedy, who is clearly quite healthy. He's an older man. And he's not overweight, and he's not lacking muscle mass. And why do you think that is? Do you think possibly he could know something about health? I think so. This isn't going to cut it anymore. This isn't going to cut it anymore. I don't want to hear from people who don't know what they're talking about. Chris Christie does not know what he's talking about when it comes to health. It's clear because obesity is a major problem. You are putting yourself at risk for heart disease, cancer, autoimmune. Like, I can go on and on and on with what you are putting yourself at risk. So everybody knows that, I think. I don't think anybody really truly thinks that level of obesity is healthy. And so I have to believe then that Chris Christie could not lead somebody to health if his life depended on it, because he can't do it for himself. Stay tuned, everybody. I'll explain more what I mean. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Gresca's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Gresca C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Gresca C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
I didn't expect people to comment on my skin. But since starting the Cellular Reset, I've been asked if I changed my skincare routine. It's the inside out effect for me. That's from Jeannie from New Mexico. I get stories like that all the time. Somebody asked me about my skin today, actually. I do believe the health of your skin starts in the inside, particularly in your gut. I love my Cellular Reset. I do not want to go without it. It has definitely been a game changer for me. If you're dealing with inflammation, if you want better skin, you got to try the Cellular Reset. Go to naturallyinspiredstore.com today. Just click on the Cellular Reset and get yourself started. You will not regret it. So let me just explain a little bit, because I don't want anybody, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. The world is not set up for your health success. It is not. And Chris Christie, no different, right? I understand that the world is not set up for your success. But Chris Christie is in a position of leadership, and he's going on mainstream television criticizing somebody like Bobby Kennedy in regards to leadership in health. You're putting yourself out there. You know what I mean? You are putting yourself out there. So I empathize. But if you're going to be in leadership, and if you're going to throw rocks at somebody like Bobby Kennedy, then you better be prepared to get it back. And this is just a sign of our culture. Somewhere along the line, and I'm not really sure where it happened, I would say maybe the early 2000s, we stopped putting weight on merit. We stopped saying merit matters. We stopped saying results matter. And we started letting people get away with telling us things when they didn't know what they were talking about, because they didn't have the standard themselves. They didn't have the results themselves. It's kind of like when I go to a hairdresser. If I go to a hairdresser and the lady comes up and I look at her hair and I think, ooh, I don't know about that. I get nervous. And I think, I don't think I want her to cut my hair. I don't think I want her to take care of my hair. My hairdresser has like dream hair. She's got the curly hair that's like big. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I want somebody who knows what they're doing. And the way I know you know what you're doing is that you're doing it yourself. Otherwise, I have questions. And I may ask you those questions. And if you have reasonable answers for those questions, then maybe I proceed with you. But maybe I don't, because clearly you don't know what you're doing. Now, am I mean because I'm like that? Because I don't know, if you take your car to a mechanic and they don't fix it, do you keep taking it back there? No, you get pissed and you go somewhere else and you demand a refund. But yet we have all these, quote, leaders who are in positions trying to talk about health and telling us what we need to do and go here and do this and you must do that. It's mandated. And, he's crazy. And I'm looking at you. Are you forgetting that I can see you with my eyeballs? Because you're not the picture of health. I would be like, what happened? What happened? There is like no shame. There is no, and I'm not, when I'm talking about no shame, I mean, like, you can beak off your mouth and say whatever, and it's clear that you don't know what you're talking about, but yet there's not even a hesitation. Like, when did our culture shift so much that people can talk BS like nobody's business and have no consequences for it? I don't know. It's not okay. We need to have a standard. We have to. I understand you want to be a health coach, or you want to do this, or you want to do that in life. Okay, cool. Go work at it. Go work at it and get those results for yourself, and then go teach other people. Maybe it's because we've gotten so like education focused. you got to have this certificate, you got to have that degree before you could talk about anything. No, you got to have results. You got to have results. Let's go back to that, because that's actually reality. You can go through a school, okay? Let me tell you. Just let me tell you, okay? Through the process of Naturally Inspired, I have interviewed hundreds of people, okay? Doctors, researchers, scientists, or whatever, okay? When growing up as a Gen Xer, we had this cops were like, oh, you respected them. Doctors, oh my God, they're a doctor, and you thought they had all their shiz together, because they were those types of professions. And man, we just lost that. That started falling apart, I want to say, in the 2000s, for sure. It started falling apart. And sometimes I'm shocked. I'm like, this person has like umpteen degrees and they have all the things and check all the boxes, but their life's a mess. And I'm not saying that to pick on anybody. I'm saying that because you need to regain your confidence in yourself. You need to regain the confidence in yourself, especially when it comes to health, because nobody is better than you. Nobody is more qualified than you. Like, you can have the information. The information is at your fingertips now. You don't need, and you're not going to even have it. Like, there's such a massive shift coming in health. It's going to be so different. Bill Gates is going to make sure you have your own AI doctor, of course, right? But just think about this rationally, okay? If you have one problem and you think, damn, what is going on with me? Like, what could this be? And you start sifting through all the information that's available out there to you, you can spend hours, right? You can spend days, years. Do you think you're going to know more about that issue than the random doctor that you walk into the office to go see? I guarantee you are. You're going to know more. I figured this out 20 years ago when my son was sitting in an emergency room and nobody knew what was wrong with him. It was Jason, it was my husband that went and did the research. I think we had dial-up back then. He went home and started researching because he couldn't sit there any longer while they tried to figure out what was wrong. And that is how we found out about thrombocytopenia and how it relates to the flu shot. So that's why it was such a game changer to me. It's like, oh, these guys only know what they're being taught in these classrooms. And what they're being taught in these classrooms is captured by corporations. And those corporations sell products. And that's the truth. And that's what Bobby Kennedy knows. And Chris Christie is clinging on to that. He is clutching on to that because of the lobbyists that he serves and the entities that he serves and the cult that he is a part of. And yeah, I call it a cult because when you do things that make absolutely no sense for the sake of the organization, you're in a cult. You're in a cult. These people disgust me because we have children every day. There are still products on the market every day. And these unsuspecting mothers are taking their children into these people and they are getting their children injected as we speak. And nobody ever tells them there's possible side effects. Nobody ever tells them that there is risk. And barely anybody correlates it because it takes a while for those consequences to show up. And then when you ask about them, they gaslight you because the cult has brainwashed them with, mantras to spit back out at moms. Safe and effective. Oh, that couldn't have been it. Oh, that's not it. No, it's genetic. No, it's idiopathic. No, it's this. It's that. No, it's not. If you're born healthy and whole and you have no problems something made you sick. This medical mafia model relies on idiopathic for it to work. It relies on a whole lot for it to work. We got to understand that we're in the driver's seat and take our power back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert-Garcia. Stay tuned. The Naturally Inspired Moment's up next. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
My nails used to break constantly and my hair was thinning, and now my nails are strong and my hairdresser keeps telling me my hair feels thicker. That's from Felicia, who is 48 here in Colorado. She sent that story in. You need collagen. I tell you, you get into your mid-20s and you stop producing it at the same rate you used to when you were young. And so you got to supplement with it. There's a couple different ways you can supplement. You know, I love the liquid BioCell collagen. I think it works fantastic. I have noticed it improve my skin. It has improved a lot of different things. My hair, my nails, all that stuff. So you got to get yourself on collagen. If you are not already on collagen, you need to get some. You can go to naturallyinspiredstore.com and just click on the cellular reset click on the collagen tab, and it'll take you straight to the page where you can get yours ordered. Okay, now it's time for a naturally inspired moment. I'm a little distracted here because I think my lights went down. Is that better? I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, let's get to the naturally inspired moment, because today I want to talk about 5 strategies for taking an audit on your results. This is so important. Merit matters. Standard matters. You don't have to feel bad about your results. Who cares? Like, the past is the past. Let's move forward, and until you recognize and take real stock and be honest with yourself, you can't fix anything. And listen, I'm not perfect. Many of my mentors, my teachers rather, they're not perfect. It's an ongoing process. So there's no point in beating yourself up about stuff. It's about moving forward and accepting responsibility and radical responsibility, right? That's the key. Taking radical responsibility. That's when you really make change. And radical responsibility means you don't blame anybody else. It doesn't mean that they're not accountable for what they've done to you or, the bad things that have happened. It doesn't mean they are not accountable. It means that you are choosing empowerment. That's what it means when you take radical personal responsibility. So this isn't a beat up session. This is like, I'm to the point now where when I don't do things that I know I need to do, I just laugh at myself because it's like, oh yeah, that's called being human. All you can do is to get back on track. So 5 strategies for taking an audit of your current results. Number 1, check your consistency. So are you showing up daily in the habits that matter most? Because results come from what you do regularly, not occasionally. And I bring this up because I think, when we know something, it's like, oh yeah, I know I need to eat more protein. Of course, I know I do. I know it. So I'm doing it. But then if you really track what you're doing, you'll find oh crap, I'm actually not getting all my protein. And so this is good news though. This is not an opportunity for you to crap on yourself because you're not getting the protein that you're supposed to be getting. No, this is an opportunity because that's an easy fix, right? I got to eat more protein. So now I eat more protein. Where the frustration sets in is when we lie to ourselves and act like we're trying everything. I'm trying everything. I know about protein. I know about hydration. I know about sleep. I know all that stuff. Nothing's working. Something's not right. Because we know what the fundamentals are that curate health. And so we have to get radically honest with ourselves. And it does not make you a bad person because you know something and you're not executing. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means okay, I'm grateful when I figure I'm like, oh, something's not right here. What have I been doing? And then I'm like, oh, thank God, that's what it is. I actually haven't been eating good this week. You know what I mean? That's a relief because then there's a cause. So we should embrace those things. We should embrace the audit in order to, understand that this is actually what's happening. Okay, so check your consistency. Number 2, measure what matters. Pick 1 or 2 key markers like your energy, your sleep, your quality, or your sleep quality, or your waistline, or, your strength, and track them honestly over time. All right, strength is a good one. Or, I like to run. I was definitely focusing a lot more on weight training as I turned 50 this year, which I should. But my son wants to run a half marathon and I want to do that too. So with him, so I started, amping up my mileage again. And when I first started back amping up my mileage, I was getting slow. I was like, oh my gosh, I am slow. And yesterday, I had a great run and I've been able to shave a minute off of my mileage. So pretty quickly back, because my body has that memory. But if I wasn't measuring, I could have easily went out that first time and been like, oh, this is a slog. I don't think I'm ever going to get back to running half marathons because, do you see? But because I measured, I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm actually pretty slow. Already, I'm gaining that conditioning back. But it's because I'm not afraid to measure, because I don't get stuck on the fact that I'm slower now. I hope that makes sense. So you got to measure honestly. Number 3, evaluate your mindset. Notice the thoughts behind your actions. This is so important. And I think one of my woes this week is about this. Are you approaching your goals with belief and possibility, or with doubt and excuses? Right? You come into something, yeah, I've done all this before. Yeah, I know. But the problem with that is, actually, you know what? Eliminate that sentence from your vocabulary. The problem with that is, I hear that a lot. You got to remove statements like that, because you're looking for problems. You're focusing on the problem. You got to focus on the solution. And I know it's hard. That mindset shift is hard at first, but just audit yourself and be honest with yourself how many times you say the problem, yeah, but the problem with that is, or I can't do that because, yeah, I tried that, but okay, you didn't like that strategy. What about a different strategy? Give me a different strategy. That could replace, yeah, but the problem with that is, how about I need a different strategy? Because asking your brain for a different strategy, you're going to come up with a different path. There's many paths to health. It's not one size fits all. Okay, so evaluate your mindset. Number 4, ask for feedback. Sometimes we can't see our own blind spots. Oh, that is so true. So, ask somebody else. Ask somebody else, a trusted mentor, a coach, a friend. They can help you recognize your progress or where you're stalling. I was in a bit of a habit for a long time where I would go too long without eating. And then by the time I ate, I was starving, And so, of course, you're going to overeat when you're starving. That was a habit I had built for years, going as a Gen Xer, going to school with no lunch, whatever, you tough it out, and then you come home and you're starving. Of course, you're going to overeat when you haven't eaten all day. But I didn't even see that I had carried that pattern over to even into adulthood until somebody pointed it out to me. I was like, oh my God, you're so right. Like, of course I'm going to overeat then because I'm starving. So look at somebody else and have them say, do you see anything here? Like, if you truly don't know what you're doing that's causing you to derail the results that you want, then have somebody else look at what you're doing and then accept that as a way, that they love you and that they're trying to help you. You don't need to get defensive. So once you discover these things, the 5th thing is adjust and recommit, right? Don't make it emotional. Audits aren't about beating yourself up. They're about course correcting. And newsflash, we always have to course correct, because let me tell you, success, especially in health, is not linear. That's not the way the body works. You're gonna go up, you're gonna go down. You're gonna go up even higher, then you go down a little bit, then you go up higher than that, then you come down a little bit, up, and then the graph looks like this until the trajectory is up and towards your finish line. So if something isn't working, tweak the plan, but keep going. Regular audits keep you accountable and moving forward. When you pause, reflect, and adjust, you transform your results from accidental to intentional. So don't be afraid to take an audit on your results. We're coming up into hour 2. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites. and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.
Nearly 40% of Americans struggle with a $400 emergency expense. An extra $300 a month can be the difference between stability and financial stress.
Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses? Imagine what an extra $300, $500, or even $1,000 a month can do for you. Introducing a simple 3-step system designed to help you create a steady income without the overwhelm. Step 1, follow our easy-to-use plan. Step 2, take small, consistent actions. Step 3, stay motivated with weekly coaching designed to keep you on track and moving forward. Whether you're saving for a family vacation, paying down debt, or just looking for breathing room, this system is for you. You don't need special skills, just the desire to make change. Join a growing community of success stories today. Visit simpleincome.info or text 720-764-7448.
Welcome to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. Download our latest book on real solutions for health at naturallyinspiredradio.com. Naturally Inspired Radio is a nationally syndicated show broadcast on over 100 radio stations, online platforms, video channels, and podcast feeds. Follow us on your favorite platform today, hit that like button, leave a comment, and engage in our special live stream chats, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to learn more, register for our weekly giveaway, and explore past episodes. You can also connect directly with Tammy, follow her on all major social media platforms, and discover more about our featured guests and trusted radio partners. Are you looking for better health? Work with Tammy today and take the first step toward a healthier, more empowered lifestyle. Schedule your complimentary 30-minute lifestyle assessment to explore personalized guidance on nutrition, movement, toxin-free living, and natural beauty without pharma. Get started now and discover Tammy's preferred health products at naturallyinspiredstore.com or text Tammy directly 720-303-8868. Love the show and want to support the movement? Head over to naturallyinspiredradio.com and click on the support tab. There you'll find all the ways you can get involved. Join our Naturally Inspired community, become a preferred customer, attend one of our amazing live events, get your backstage pass for exclusive access, and connect to all things naturally inspired. Thank you for tuning in today. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time. Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturalinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome back. This is the second hour of Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad you're joining me today. We've been talking about Trump's posts today on Truth Social with, acknowledging that vaccines are poison. So that's incredible. We've been talking about personal responsibility. We've been talking about merit, just getting back to a merit-based world where standards matter, we need it. It keeps us tethered in reality. And I know that the cult would love to suck us into virtual reality, but, we need reality. I don't know what to say. We need reality, and we need it bad, because us getting away from reality is not doing us any favors. I mean, the results that we have, especially when it comes to health, are not great. And so a return to reality, a turn to merit, a turn to standards, that's what I am calling for. That's for sure. I want to tell you a little bit about LiveO2. I don't know if you've caught last couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago. I want to say he'll probably be coming on soon again. Mark Squibb. He is the inventor of LiveO2. And LiveO2 is oxygen training. So it delivers oxygen-rich performance right at home, helping you boost your energy, helps you recover faster. A lot of head injury type stuff. I want you to go to this website, especially if you're dealing with cognitive issues and whatnot, or even sleep issues. Go to live02.com, or you can even call Mark and talk to him. 970-658-2789, 970-658-2789. His name is Mark Squibb. Go to the website, live02.com, and check it out. There's more available than you've ever been led to believe when it comes to any kind of health journey. So check it out there, live02.com. All right, I got a couple people I'm going to cover now in news. And, I try not to attach myself to people who have like public personas because, in my experience, a lot, not everyone, there's some wonderful people I've worked with. There's wonderful people out there. But in my experience, sometimes we see the way people are in their public persona and we're like, oh, I just love them. They're such a great actor. They're such this, they're such that. And then like, wah, 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 they turn out to be like not great. That's just my experience. But I am attached to this guy for sure. Dr. Joe Ladapo. So he was on the mainstream news recently, and I just love the way he handled this. So I wanted to share this clip with you. This is Joe Ladapo. Check it out.
So the whole idea, do you not believe that parents are incapable of making decisions with the information that they receive from their pediatricians? Because either you don't believe that parents can make good decisions for their children, or the position just doesn't make sense. So I would say that, yeah, I trust parents. I believe parents can make good decisions for their children. They get good information. And Jake, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'll add one more thing, which is this idea of informed consent. So you can't, you may have, I'm not sure if you have a legal background, but in medical ethics, you cannot obtain informed consent for a medical treatment if there's coercion. And a mandate is coercion, because a mandate indicates that if you don't comply, there's a punishment.
He's so patient there. Right? He's being so patient, and he's very carefully explaining how you cannot give informed consent when you have this massive pressure on somebody to comply. Like, oh, we're going to take your job from you. Oh, you can't fly. Oh, you can't travel. Oh, you can't do this. You can't come in the store. Everybody hates you. Because that's what we lived through COVID. And then say, oh yeah, so informed consent. You can't do that. That's not what that is. I think a lot of people need to get acquainted with the idea of informed consent. It isn't blind compliance. Informed consent means, you've been told all the possible known consequences to the medical intervention that you are consenting to. You can't get it any other way. And we have to give that to people because guess what? We don't live in their bodies. You don't live in my body. I don't live in your body. And so we can't dictate to someone else what they have to do with their body when we don't have to live in it. And the whole premise when it comes to vaccines of like, you need to get a vaccine so I'm safe, like that. It's just like that. That's over. That's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. It never made sense. It was, it was the mental gymnastics. It doesn't even make sense. That's the thing about lies. When you really boil them down, they just don't make any sense. And so your first kind of indication that somebody's BSing you or somebody's trying to pull some kind of scam is that it doesn't make sense. The story doesn't make sense. There's a lot of stammering. You got blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And that's what I hear all the time. Oh, but polio. Okay. Oh, seatbelt. What? Like, you don't know anything. You're just regurgitating talking points from the mainstream narrative. Don't try if you don't know what you're talking about. It's embarrassing. And so we have to have informed consent, and there's so many things wrong with the process of, quote, vaccines. So many, they just give them to your kid without really telling you about them. So many things wrong. So hopefully, it looks like this September, we're going to start getting maybe some informed consent. And that's all I want. Listen, me personally, I don't want to outlaw anything. You know why? Because more regulation, more government involvement, bad news. Bad news. That's why I do what I do. I work one-on-one with people all the time to help connect them to information, right? I don't give medical advice. I just connect people to information. They read it and then they make decisions. That's it. I don't do anything else. And the reason why I do that is because the medical model is not doing that. They are not giving people informed consent. It's really important that people understand what informed consent is. And Joe Ladapo definitely does. Definitely does. And I think it's an exciting time in Florida, especially. Listening to him talk is exciting. And I hope that it will start to spread, throughout the country. And people will get more comfortable making their own decisions. Let's go to our next clip. I know we have to go to break here in a couple of minutes, but let's play the clip and then we'll probably talk about it when we come back. Because like I said, I don't like getting attached to celebrities or people in the main spotlight or anything, because you never know. But this is another one of my favorites. I've just loved her for so long. It's Jenny McCarthy, and she's talking to Peter McCullough. Take a listen.
Here, because a lot of times in my stories I've talked about this MMR because that's the one that I believe was the tipping point for my son Evan and for a lot of parents. But I want to also focus and mention that his hepatitis shot in the hospital gave him jaundice. There were other things that I felt like were contributing. Like, I believe it's a scale like this. The toxic, tub, if you will, overflows at a certain point. For Evans, it was MMR. But I have no doubt, as I kept vaccinating him on schedule and on time, that it was all leading to this tipping point.
But you also imply that, and this is true of some children, that Evan may have been particularly sensitive to a variety of environmental things, correct, right? So, I mean, some children take all these vaccines and they're perfectly fine, but other children who take them obviously are not.
That's right. Some are vulnerable. Right. Some are vulnerable. Like, for instance, I've discovered the MTHFR gene mutation since then. I think there still needs to be a lot of work on it, but if it makes sense, if I have trouble detoxing, why wouldn't my child who also has that MTHFR gene mutation? Are those things that should be considered before vaccinating? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but it's something to consider.
You're making the point that there are what's called common genetic variants, and good Irish people like us have the MTHFR. I mean, it's just kind of how we're born. So we're far more needy of B6, B12, methylated folate. So we just have a greater need. It is of note in autistic children, if the background rate of MTHFR is like 25%, which is about what the Irish genealogy is in the United States, it's well more than 75% of kids with autism have MTHFR.
I love this. I mean, I love this this discussion. One of the reasons why is because I cannot believe Peter's turnaround. When I interviewed Peter years ago, he was still kind of a pharmaceutical type of doctor. He's come a long way, let me tell you. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert-Garcia. Stay tuned because I've got a whole lot to say about this and more, and you're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturalinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
You know me, I'm always talking about protein. I'm sure you think, she's just shut up about protein. I'm not going to shut up about protein. It's so underestimated, and I guarantee you're not getting enough. But one of my favorite ways to get protein is from Pumpkin Creek Ranch. They are our partners here at Naturally Inspired Radio. They are a regenerative family-owned farm. They are, Dean Lerwick, who I'm sure will be coming on soon. He hasn't been on for a little while. He is so knowledgeable, and he cares so much. Him and Jared are brothers. They run the farm, family business. They care so much about the quality of what they're producing. And I love talking to him because he's always up on the latest news and stuff about regenerative farming. Anyway, best tasting beef you can get, I'm telling you. It's the only beef my daughter will eat because she's gotten super picky about beef over the last couple of years. And that's the only one that she will eat. So pumpkincreekranchco.com, pumpkincreekranchco.com. You can learn about what they're doing over there, and they're happy to answer any questions. The future of farming and our food supply, I believe, is transparency, and brands like Pumpkin Creek Ranch that are willing to show you transparency, they're going to dominate. And these guys deserve it. They're putting in the work. They're putting in the time. They're doing the education piece, which is educating people on what they should be looking for when it comes to beef. So just a fabulous product. So get your beef. They ship all over. So reach out to them, pumpkincreekranchco.com, and use promo code Tammy to let them know. You can get a little bit of discount for being a part of the Naturally Inspired community. Okay, so a couple things about this clip I just played with Jenny McCarthy and Peter McCullough, Dr. Peter McCullough. They brought up something, some kids can be vaccinated and be perfectly fine. Define fine. Because I think there's a lot of things that we have been conditioned to overlook that are just, quote, normal, that actually aren't normal. Things like respiratory issues, asthma, food allergies. Good Lord. I didn't know first of all, there was one kid in my whole elementary school that had asthma the entire time I went to school. in the same community. You know, we all went to the same elementary school. We all went to the same high school. There was one kid. I still remember his name. You know what I mean? There was one kid. That's it. And now there's, you know, half the class when my kids, way back when they still were in school, because I pulled them out to homeschool, you know, so they weren't in school very long. But I remember those classrooms being like 50% of the kids had inhalers. That ain't normal. Okay. And so I wonder, like, perfectly fine because they don't have autism, you know, because they didn't suffer a life-threatening occurrence event like thrombocytopenia where your platelet levels get down to single digits and you almost bleed out. Like, define fine. You know what I mean? Because chronic respiratory problems, not even being able to handle like the common cold because it becomes like a breathing event. These are things, you know, if you go and you research Dr. Paul Thomas, he had a practice before they took his license where he was doing real-time study in his own practice where he was tracking vaccinated kids with unvaccinated kids. And the proof is there. Unvaccinated kids were unequivocally healthier across the board. Less visits, less allergies, less respiratory problems, like less skin conditions, just across the board healthier. So, I mean, I love both those two. I'm just saying like perfectly fine, define fine. Right? The other thing was, I think it's very important as we enter into this conversation, like, you know, how it's going to be public with autism and whatnot, that we do not forget that we are synergistic beings and that we are impacted by a lot of things in our environment. It isn't just what's injected into us. It isn't just the food we eat. Everything has an impact on us. So our screen time, and I'm going to bring it up again. I know people always jump all over me when I bring this up. I don't care. I'm going to keep bringing it up. Technology is an issue when it comes to autism, when it comes to ADD, ADHD, whatever the letters you want to pick, right? It is a problem. It is changing the way we learn. It's literally changing our brains. If you don't believe me, go pull the studies from Harvard. It is changing the way we learn. Like, it's changing us. And we're labeling it with a health disease, like with a health condition. And I'm just saying, maybe it's not. You know, maybe it's compounding. Maybe it is the injections. Maybe it is the food. Maybe it is EMF radiation. You think? Maybe it is technology and the lack of interpersonal communication with other humans. Maybe that is why your kid can't look me in the eye. Maybe it's not, you know, injections solely. Maybe it's that it spends too much damn time interacting with technology and not enough damn time. Especially shy kids, right? Like, because I was a shy kid. I mean, if you can believe it, I was. When I was really little, I was really shy. And, you know, it would have been probably good to like not be forced to shake people's hands and look them in the eye and talk to them and answer them when they asked you questions. You know, but if you had, in that age, you had to, right? If somebody asked you a question, you answer them. Your mom or dad would be like, well, answer them. You know, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll answer them. But we give everybody a pass when they have a label. Like, oh, well, you know, she can't, you know, it's her autism or it's her ADD or it's, you know, her neurodivergent, whatever. Like, okay, maybe, but like also there's something else going on here. It requires growth to interact with people, right? It's like if you come from a shy personality, then you have to grow into being able to communicate with other people. You can't just like relax into your shyness or you're not going to be successful in life. And that's what I worry about with this, right? That there's a lot of other variables here and we should be considering all of them, not just vaccines or just the food or just, one thing or another. We have to like look at our lifestyle. That's why I always say like lifestyle matters, because it does. Like the way you're living your life matters. Of course it does. You're in patterns, right? Most of us do a lot of the same things over and over every day. And if part of your day is spending 11 hours or 10 hours in front of your screen, when someone calls you on the phone to speak to you, you might not want to answer, because you're not used to communicating with people that way. I know people get very upset with me when I say this because, having a label, and this is going to make more people upset, having a label gets you an out. It's a pass. And I'm not saying everybody, I'm not saying everybody. I'm like, trust me, I'm a huge advocate for autistic families. There is biomedical autism. It is caused by vaccines, in my opinion. It is heavy metal toxicity. Like, don't get it twisted. But there's the spectrum that keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I wonder about. Oh, they're on the spectrum. Okay. What does that mean exactly? So I think we have to be careful, when we say people are perfectly fine after these injections. I think there's a lot of variables that we need to be discussing. The MTHFR mutation, this is a great conversation to be having. Of course that makes sense. If you can't detox and then you're injecting, of course we have to have these conversations. That's one variable, right? There's a lot here. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. This is Naturally Inspired Radio.
Are achy joints holding you back? Are you tired of stiffness slowing you down? It's time to restore with Joint Restore Gummies from Prosper CBD. These delicious strawberry-flavored gummies aren't just tasty. They're designed to soothe joint discomfort, promote flexibility, and help you move freely again. No more messy creams or bitter pills. Just one gummy a day to get you back to doing what you love. Best of all, no prescription needed.
My husband was headed towards knee surgery, and I was having hip pain. A friend recommended these. We tried them, and they worked great. We noticed a difference right away.
Right now, Prosper Wellness is offering a special deal, so don't wait. Go to jointrestore1.com. That's jointrestore1.com. Grab your Joint Restore gummies today. Be sure to use the promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, for 20% off your order.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that detoxing daily can help remove up to 70% of the toxins in your body? Let me share 3 real stories about how Greska's C60 has helped people feel their best every day. John from Denver, Colorado says,
I've always struggled with seasonal allergies, but since I started taking Greska C60 every day, my symptoms have significantly improved. I don't feel congested or tired all the time. It's been an amazing daily detox for my body, and I feel so much more energized.
Emily from Portland, Oregon says,
As an athlete, I was looking for a way to keep my body clean and detoxed. Gresca C60 has been a great addition to my routine. I feel less bloated and I feel more clear-headed. Plus, it's helped me with occasional muscle stiffness and aches after intense workouts.
Visit c60.com or call 720-600-6040 today to start your own journey. Use promo code TAMMY at checkout for a special discount.
Welcome back. I want to talk to you just briefly about CBD. You know, the thing about CBD is that it's not very well regulated when it comes to like dosage. I've used CBD in the past where like I'm like, oh, this didn't work at all. And then I take more and that was a mistake. You know, I mean, I've had some interesting experiences with CBD, but not with jointrestore1.com. That's not the case. It is powerful. It works. It's awesome. And did you know that you have an endocannabinoid system? And I feel like, you know, if you have a system like that in your body, you have receptors for it, then it makes sense to feed your body with that. You know, we even have nicotine receptors. So, you know, you can get fill your cannabinoid receptors with foods, stuff like hemp and cacao and fatty fish and flax seeds and even cannabinoid like compounds like black pepper. That's one of them. Cloves, oregano, what else? Cinnamon, echinacea, tea, green tea. These all help your cannabinoid system. But when you're dealing with pain and, you know, you need something immediately, the Joint Restore One is incredible. It has boswellia in it as well. And I don't know what it is about that combo, but it is powerful. So like after really long, you know, runs, I was taking it and it was just helping me. Like it was like, you know, just, it was acute, right? So acute exhaustion from muscles and over exertion. This was the key. So jointrestore1.com, jointrestore1.com. You can use promo code TAMMY. They are gummies. They taste fantastic. And let me tell you, they work awesome. So make sure you use promo code TAMMY, TAMMY, to get an additional discount. That's Prosper Wellness at jointrestore1.com. Okay. The Fabian Society. Ooh, I like to get into this stuff because there's a lot of people, I think, in this audience that are, you know, I actually talk to a lot of people. And what I find is this audience is like, was woken up either by 9/11 or woken up by January 6th. It's kind of like one or the other. And so there's a lot of people that know about deeper dives like the Fabian Society, and there's some people that don't. And so I think it's such a great mix of people here in the Naturally Inspired community. And today I wanted to talk just a little bit about the Fabian Society because Bill Gates was at the White House recently. And I saw somebody shared this little clip on Twitter. So take a listen. Here it is.
To all punishment whatsoever. I don't want to punish anybody. But there are an extraordinary number of people whom I want to kill. Not in any unkind or personal spirit, but it must be evident to all of you, you must all know half a dozen people at least, who are no use in this world, who are more trouble than they are worth. And I think it would be a good thing to make everybody come before a properly appointed board, just as he might come before the income tax commissioners, and say every 5 years or every 7 years, just put him there and say, sir or madam, now will you be kind enough to justify your existence? If you can't justify your existence, if you're not pulling your weight in the social boat, if you're not producing as much as you consume, or perhaps a little more, then clearly we cannot use the big organization of our society for the purpose of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us and it can't be of very much use.
So I bring this up because I think people continually say things like, well, why would they do that? Why? No, that's like, that died with World War II or whatever. And I'm here to tell you, no, it didn't. There is a life philosophy based in eugenics that a lot of people kind of grew up with, and I know it's hard for regular people to understand this because, you didn't grow up in evil. Most of us are, well, here's the interesting thing. Everyone thinks they're right. Everyone thinks they're doing, most people, we have the caveat of psychopaths and whatnot, of course, and people who are just downright evil. We have that, sect of people. But for the most part, the general population, everybody thinks they're right and they're doing good. Even these lunatic Democrats, a lot of them think that they are like they're doing good things and they're fighting for good issues. And I think, somebody like Bill Gates or whatever, I think at some point they think they're doing good work. Like they're out there just fighting the good fight, saving lives or whatever. It gets a little dicey there, for sure, on the cusp of evil, But so the Fabian Society, old society, right? Started by George Bernard Shaw, and it's a belief system. It's a belief system. And Keir Starmer is a Fabian over there in the UK. And there's a lot of, bloodlines that lead back to this old society. But here's where I think like a lot of conspiracy theorists kind of go wrong is they project or they assume that because somebody kind of holds a value system that they're automatically a part of the society or the group, right? There's so many of these little groups, right? The Club of Rome, the Fabians, there's tons of them. Skull and Bones, like there's a lot. The Illuminati, there's a lot of names. But if you can't, when you're talking to regular people and they're not really, normies or whatever, they're not really used to that type of language. They kind of just like, oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're a conspiracy theorist. And then when they go and they Google it and they find out, well, Gates has no link to the Fabian Society. So this is garbage, right? We don't need a link anymore. There's shared methods here. They don't have to have membership in order to share the methods. The methods are on display for everybody to see. They're on display. So I don't really give if you're a Fabian, a member of the Fabian Society or a member of the Club of Rome or whatever, like your actions. Again, can we go back to reality? Where like, what have you shown us? What are your actions? And I'll tell you, somebody like Bill Gates lines up with the Fabian method. And that's good enough for me. So here are some like modern Fabian global governance Gates kind of actions that line up with the core ideas of the Fabians. Okay. It's gradual. It's technocratic. It's permeating with institutions. And I think, I can't remember now who it was that said, maybe it was Elon, actually. I think it was Elon, where he was talking about all the different institutions that they have started within the government, right? It's like multiple we have so many freaking institutions, more than like, years have been in existence as a country. That's a way to capture, right? That's a way to capture. It's political based, so long-standing affiliations with political parties, institution building. So here are some key people involved. So Sidney Webb in the Fabian Society, Sidney Webb, Beatrice Webb, Graham Wallace, J.B. Shaw. And these are kind of the Fabian prominent society members that hold the same beliefs as the clip I just played you, right? If you don't have something to offer, then prove your existence. Otherwise, now, who else said that? Useless eaters. Bill Gates with his useless eaters, right? People like the World Economic Forum, Noah Harari, what did he say? That, these useless people, we're going to have to medicate them and give them video games. We're on the cusp of that. Like, that sounded so crazy, right? That clip that when he said that, what will we do? There'll be no jobs. Listen, this is the jobs thing is the least of the worries when it comes to AI. The job thing is the least of the worries. They are capturing people's consciousness. And they're overriding people's human consciousness with an algorithm. And his solution to keep people going is medication and virtual reality. This is rooted in Fabianism. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be right back.
Did you know that a single collagen supplement could support your heart health, help protect against EMF exposure, and reduce inflammation all at the same time? Our preferred foundational collagen not only supports radiant skin and joint mobility, but also promotes heart health, reduces inflammation, strengthens hair and nails, provides added protection against the effects of EMF exposure, and so much more. Our favorite collagen is super absorbable and easy to take. Just 1 tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening for maximum benefits. Here's what our listeners have to say.
This collagen is so easy to take, I've noticed a huge difference in my hair and nails after just a few weeks.
Since I started using Tammy's preferred collagen, my joints feel more flexible and my skin looks smoother.
Try it today at naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. When you purchase from Naturally Inspired, you get access to our group health coaching call and so much more. Go to naturallyinspiredradio.com/collagen. Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I want to tell you how great our health assessments are going. Yes, you can book a 30-minute free health assessment with me. We sit down, we go over, different things, obstacles that could be interfering with your health. And they're going so great. People are walking back their own, type 2 diabetes. They are changing their protein levels to get better results with their weight. They are, conquering inflammation. Like, people are doing the work and getting fantastic results in the naturally inspired community. And it is so exciting to see. We're at an incredible point in making America healthy again. We're on the verge of a lot being exposed. But the most exciting thing, I think, is that people are getting it. You are getting it. America is getting it. Everybody I talk to understands I can't do this anymore. I can't trust what they're telling me. I got to do something different. And that's why Naturally Inspired exists, because we're giving you something different. We're empowering you. And so come and be a part of it. I don't know exactly what holds people back from not taking the assessment. Everybody's at different points in their optimum health journey. But let me tell you, I'm here to meet you wherever you're at. So don't let it stop you. Take the assessment today. You can take it at naturallyinspiredstore.com, or you can book a free assessment with me. Text me on my text line, 720-303-8868. Yes, it is me. People are like, oh, this is so weird. I watch you and then I talk to you. It's like, yeah, because this is human. This is what needs to happen. We need to have personal relationships again. We need to connect again. It's not just about this, here, buy this product, go away. Here, I'll sell you this, go away. No, we need a community. And that's been why we do our events at Naturally Inspired, right? Our live in-person events every summer where we bring in doctors for you to hear. That's why we do that. We do live calls on Tuesday nights with our weekly wellness workshop. I'm here for you. Take advantage of it. It's a great opportunity. Sometimes I think people think it's too good to be true, and that's why they don't. They're like, yeah, what's the catch? No catch, really. You're buying vitamins, you're buying supplements, you're using shakes, you're using laundry detergent, you're doing that stuff anyway. All I'm saying is you do it with Naturally Inspired, and then you get me along for the ride as well with you on your optimum health journey. It's pretty simple, and it works, which is super exciting. I got some great new people in the community too, which I'm super excited about solving their problems, because I'm kind of a dork like that. And when somebody gives me a problem I haven't heard of, yeah, I just get a little crazy about that. Anyway, let's go to our health topic because my producer told me that I am shortening the health topic and I need to keep it longer because people love the health topic. So I don't want to short you today. 7 strategies for nervous system support. Very important. Okay, you guys, because you cannot heal when your nervous system is in fight or flight. And you say, I don't think I'm stressed out. Are you living on this planet? I think that's the funniest thing because a lot of you, you're as awake as I am. And some of you more, more. And so just knowing the way the world is, it's, you have to have a very strong foundation in faith to be able to cope. And I understand that, but it is still stressful. And so just make sure that you're supporting your nervous system, right? Maybe you think you don't have stress. It's not a problem for you. We should all be supporting our nervous system because just these lights around us is causing our nervous system stress. Okay, so number 1, prioritize mineral balance. Let me tell you, I found this out the hard way. As a runner for many, many years, I didn't realize I was magnesium deficient until it got really uncomfortable. So don't do that to yourself. Magnesium, potassium, calcium are essential for nerve transmission and muscle relaxation. Magnesium, over 300 functions in your body is dependent on magnesium. So a deficiency can heighten stress sensitivity. You need to add leafy greens, nuts, seeds, mineral-rich filtered water, of course, and also supplement with magnesium. It's so easy. Epsom salt foot soaks is another wonderful way to get your magnesium in through transdermally. It's a wonderful way. There's so many different ways. Take a supplement, right? Don't go without your magnesium. And a good way to tell that your nervous system is taxed is if you just feel a little snappy. You feel snappier than you used to be. You don't have as much patience. And if someone darts out in front of you while you're driving and you get an adrenaline rush from that, it's taking you longer than normal to recover from that, like maybe you get a little shaky or like a little too mad, you got a stress response that's overtaxed, and you need to support it. Number 2, steady blood sugar, steady nerves. Okay, so when our blood sugar spikes and crashes, the body releases cortisol and adrenaline and overstimulating the nervous system. So you got to anchor your meals in protein, like I say all the time, right? Healthy fats and protein. They do so much, right? I talk about this all the time. The hunger and satiety hormones, ghrelin and leptin. You got to make sure that you're eating the right foods, good protein, high fat, because that's what's going to regulate those hormones for you. And it's a cascading effect. Once you get into your hormones, if you're supporting them, that's all nervous system stuff. So keep your glucose stable and anchor those meals in protein. Number 3, hydration. Actually, tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about hydration on the weekly wellness workshop. You're not going to want to miss it. The nervous system communicates through electrical impulses that rely on proper fluid and electrolyte balance. So even mild dehydration slows conduction of speed. You need to be sipping on water all day, but you need hydrated water, or water that hydrates rather. So it has to have electrolytes in it. Pinch of salt, right? Electrolytes. Don't go too heavy on the ones from the store because they got a lot of sugar in them, usually the ones in the store. So you want to make sure that you've got a preferred one. I love Revitalize on my website. Revitalize is awesome. It's got Shilajit in it. It's great for hydration. Also, the other one, there's another one on there, melon and is it melon and strawberry? It's fantastic as well for hydration. So it's not just plain water that hydrates. If you're drinking a gallon of water a day, but you're peeing all the time, that's because your body's not taking it in. So you need those electrolytes. Breathe into the parasympathetic. Slow, intentional breathing activates your vagus nerve. We've done a lot of talking about vagus nerve. It's a tool that you own inside your body, that vagus nerve, and you can tap into it whenever you want. This is how you do it. You can do it with breathing. You can do it with humming. You can do it with gargling. You can do it with singing. I was doing some singing yesterday. It was a highly stressful day. And so you got to just like put your music on and do some singing, do some gargling, breath work. This stuff helps you reset your parasympathetic system. And it only takes like 2 minutes. I even have that great video. And if you want it, text me, 720-303-8868. With acupuncturist Terry Fox has a wonderful video where he teaches you how to breathe. Right? So that was probably a terrible sound in your ears. I'm sorry. But that breath actually helps you reset your vagus nerve. And when your vagus nerve is reset, you'll know because you'll feel like yawning. It's fantastic. So easy stuff that you have at your fingertips to do. Also, omega-3s. Strengthen your nerve. I feel like when I take my omegas now, I can feel it strengthening my nervous system. I know that's kind of weird, but I like to use the power of visualization when I'm building muscle, when I'm taking my vitamins, because that is the mind-body connection. And when I take my omegas, I know that that's what it's doing because it's vital for our nerve cell membranes. It reduces inflammation. It supports neurotransmitter balance. It's really important. And I like the Omega Guard that we have in our product line. It's wonderful. Also, B vitamins should not be underestimated for nervous system support. So B complex vitamins, they're required for neurotransmitter synthesis and for myelin sheath integrity as well. So, of course, grass-fed meats, get your Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef, eggs, leafy greens, and of course, a vitamin B complex supplement is key for nervous system. Again, how do I tell if my nervous system is taxed? Notice how you're responding to stress. Okay? Do you feel like it's sometimes just like I'm at my limit? That's a good indication. If you're getting mad and staying in that feeling too long. Also, ground your body in nature. I know I say this all the time, but like, spend some time outside. I can't go without it. I've got to get out into my farm every day. You can walk barefoot, pet your dog, get outside, hug a tree, quite literally. 20 minutes outside daily. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. This has been Naturally Inspired Radio. Back tomorrow, right here at 3 o'clock.